Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Mess. So, I got a fun and exciting one for you today because we're taking a look at the recently updated NBA Jam 50. If you're an NBA Jam fan, this is going to be both intimately familiar as well as completely foreign all at the same time, because this is an absolutely massive ROM hack collecting at over 200 megabytes, adding in so many different characters, features, just absolute insanity into NBA Jam. It takes an already 10 out of 10 wild game and dials it up to like 16 at this point in time. And I know that sounds hard to believe because NBA Jam starts way over the top, but this thing basically just puts its foot down on the gas pedal and never lets up. And you'll see here we are playing as the GOATs, both LeBron James as well as Michael Jordan, and there's going to be a ton of additional modern basketball players in the game. They basically took some of the best players of all time, both from the NBA Jam era when this game came out, as well as a ton of modern players, and added them all in. But it's really the secret hidden characters that aren't basketball players that make this so much fun. But NBA Jam is one of those things, if you didn't grow up in this era of basketball, maybe these aren't the players you remember. So it just takes a fun concept and kind of brings it into a more modern era. And considering the PlayStation 1 port of NBA Jam was so good, it definitely is a great way to play. And to say that NBA Jam was a success when it came out would be an understatement. Both this game as well as NFL Blitzer Midway just absolutely tore through arcades. And when that was successful, basically every home console got a port, some much better than others. And I would put the PlayStation 1 port up there as far as the best of all time. And now with NBA Jam 50, you just get more of a good thing. And that is always great. The nice thing is, whether it's Mr. FPGA, real hardware, or software emulation, overall the port is very reliable. I didn't have any bugs or freezing issues whatsoever. You can just sit down and play NBA Jam 50 like you would the original NBA Jam, and that's going to be very important because you don't want to have issues midway through a fun basketball game. But if we go to the initial entry screen here and put in the right combination from the readme as well as the month and the date, you're going to be able to unlock all of the secret characters here. And trust me, the roster is absolutely deep and absolutely weird in all the best ways possible, because now we have the strongest combination of players ever put into NBA Jam, both Pepsi Man as well as John Stockton. And the nice thing is, this isn't just a sprite swap. You're going to get different sound effects from the Pepsi Man game. If you know me and the channel, absolutely love me some Pepsi Man. It is our cat's name after all. The cat that my wife found on the street during the production of the Mr. FPGA core for N64. People on the Discord server just decided to name him Pepsi Man, and we kind of went with it. But this is the level of absolute modability that the developers here just went with NBA Jam. You can put Pepsi Man into the game. You can put a lot of modern as well as retro basketball players that were never NBA Jam players into the game, and the list is absolutely comprehensive. And I know that they say that all of the hidden characters are listed in the readme, but I have this suspicion that there's probably things hidden in NBA Jam 50 that nobody other than the developers knows about. So if you have any idea on that, leave me a comment down below. But Pepsi Man here, just straight up hilarious. And like I said, when he actually goes to dunk or shoot, you'll hear the Pepsi Man sound effect from the gameplay, because basically every single hidden character is going to have their own unique voice and dialogue lines and sound effects that kind of tie them in. And I will show you some of the other characters as we get further into the video. But the good thing is, this is just still NBA Jam, which means the gameplay is absolutely spectacular. It means the CPU is definitely going to be a little bit cheap, and it definitely means it's going to be better if you play this with friends. Get a 4-player NBA Jam 50 game going, get some of the secret characters mixed in there, and you're going to absolutely be laughing your asses off, especially if you throw some beer or drinks into the mix. And that is why I love ROM hacks like this. Fans of the game just decided they can make NBA Jam that much more fun, that much better, and that much more hilarious than it already is, and that just works in context of what this franchise has always been: an over-the-top, ridiculous, completely unrealistic, and unlifelike game of basketball. So throwing Pepsi Man in maybe seems a little bit weird, but it also seems to make perfect sense for what NBA Jam truly is. It can be anything you want, and even though this game is old today as far as when it released, it's still every bit as fun, if not more so, than it was back in the 90s. Let's do the soundtrack sample one time, some new music, some new sound effects, and some new fun. And go ahead and listen for 45 seconds, and I'll come back and show you some of the other fun characters you can pick, because trust me, it gets weirder and weirder in here.
Stockton! Stockton! LeBron! Doherty! Boom! Shakalaka! Patsy, move! LeBron! He's heating up! Knocked to the floor! LeBron! Fantastic! To Stockton! To Doherty. For two. Yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, but any game of NBA Jam where I can play as Pepsi Man and the Pepsi Man sound effects plays every time he tries to drain a three-pointer or dunk, that is a 15 out of 10 score for me any day of the week and twice on Sunday. And I absolutely love this. And if you're wondering, yes, we are now playing as John Cena. So when this is called NBA Jam 50, that's because there's over 50 different hidden characters, and I want you to discover a lot of them on your own. But Hulk Hogan is in there, Jean-Claude Van Damme is in there, Scorpion from Mortal Kombat is in, as well as a lot of basketball players and some really other weird characters. And again, that is absolutely fun, and you will see it's even kind of done in a really funny and kind of janky way, because Yao Ming there definitely just has a couple different animation frames for his face, but you can see that it's been overlaid onto a different tall character. NBA Jam 50 is just absolutely a game that's going to make you laugh every single time you play it, but it's also going to be a super competent and super amazing basketball game, because the base of it again is just NBA Jam, and that's the best kind of ROM hack. You take a game that's already incredible, you just add to it, change it up, make it feel fresh and new while also familiar at the same time, and that is just absolutely a recipe for a win. And I love that John Cena's secret character initials are CME or CME, because obviously a lot of the initials tie into the overall joke of NBA Jam 50. But this is one of those projects. Did it need to happen? Of course not. The original NBA Jam was absolutely spectacular, but stuff like this, John Cena just draining threes, it absolutely works, and it just makes this game that much better. If you leave me a comment down below and you tell me who was your original favorite NBA Jam team. For me, it was always the Utah Jazz. Stockton and Malone were just that dream team, and I don't even know why I picked them back in the day. Just always have, and now every single time I can make a Stockton joke in a video, I absolutely do, because we all know still to this day when kids on the playground are playing basketball, when they try to throw a three-point shot, everybody yells Stockton. It just is the way it works. But all Stockton jokes aside, Yao Ming is on fire there, as is John Cena, and that again is just so much fun. And I can't stress enough how big of a game this was back in the day. I remember my local arcade, there were two machines that had lines all over the place, and both of them were made by Midway. One was Mortal Kombat and the other one was NBA Jam, and then when Blitz came out, that was probably the machine that replaced NBA Jam at my local arcade. And these games are just absolutely iconic, and it's not like NBA Jam really super exists at this point in time. And this was a very 90s vibe game, and honestly, if you go to some of the other basketball games out there now, not as much fun as NBA Jam in my opinion. As we go back to the original game here again, the GOATs versus the Utah Jazz, this is just the type of thing you have to love, the dedication for the people that actually modded this. And I will leave a list of the modders down below, because there's like 6 different names listed in the credits. Easier for me to write it out than it is to try to pronounce every single modder's name correctly. But you tell me if you knew about this and if you played it yet, because this is an updated version. It's been out for a few months, but it just got updated to an even better variant, so I figured I would talk about it now. But I feel like at least a few of you probably have played NBA Jam 50, and I'm sure a lot of you played NBA Jam back in the day. But one more soundtrack sample time, because the music and sound effects are great. I'll be right back with more.
He's heating up. To Stockton for two. Boom, shakalaka. The turnover to Doherty. Boom, shakalaka.
Just an overall fun time on the music, but again, this is still NBA Jam, so the difficulty is going to get a little bit high if you end up taking a little bit of a lead on your opponent. But trust me, the arcade version of this game was even worse. You basically have a guarantee not to hit a shot if you got too far ahead in the score, because the rubber banding in the game was massive. So on PlayStation 1, that's definitely improved. But I just love stuff like this because it's a love letter to a genre and to an era. If you're alive back in the day, if you're playing games when NBA Jam was out, you knew just how huge that game was. Like I said, this got ported to every single console out there because that's how big of a hit it truly was. So to know there's still fans out there that not only care about this game enough to actually keep it alive, but to go in and mod the ever-loving hell out of it just makes me happy. And that's why I always have a spotlight for these sort of things on the channel, because who else can you play as other than John Cena in an NBA Jam game and have that much fun? I will leave a link to the ROM hack down below, but go ahead and grab it, play this with some friends, because trust me, it is straight up magic. See you guys next time though. Bye bye.